Welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You're here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Did you have a good President's Day?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed fond remembrances of many of our presidents.
You know what? Speaking of presidents, did you hear that President Jimmy Carter, who is the oldest living president, is not in good health today?
I have heard that sad news. Lived a very long
Yeah.
life. I think 98 or 99 years old right now.
He is 98 years old, and what a great humanitarian. Obviously, if you're listening to this and you're not familiar with some of the work he did, please look him up. He even he may not go down as the best liked president or the most
I
accomplished
liked him.
president, but in the years after his presidency, I think his true calling was really just being a humanitarian and helping people in need, and he's done a really awesome job with that with the remainder of his time. So sending him all the best. Hopefully he's not in too much pain, but I did hear they had called hospice in for him. So
Yeah, a really good example of kind of a post retirement, second life, second act, second career, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had almost a full career after he retired, if you will. If you consider when he left the presidency, his last quote unquote real job. I'm honestly not sure if that was his last real job or not, but he had a 40-year run after that, right? After leaving the presidency.
Oh, absolutely. And I think if you spend any time with anyone in their 70s, 80s, 90s, you get a whole different perspective on life, right? So it's like, don't write people off. I think it's a good thing that people are, from that generation are still entering the workplace. They have so much to offer, so many new ideas, so many old ideas, right? That can become new and tweaked. So yeah, really, really sad to hear about him today. I do have some good news though, actually, and I listened to it over the weekend. The play-by-play podcast came out on Friday. So Nick and Jack have done a great job. Another episode. This one, they talk sports, get the sort of their generation's view on Gen Z on sports, but they also do a game time, which I like. They like playing games and kind of tripping each other up. And the other thing, it was funny because I was hoping they'd talk about this and I didn't mention it to them. They talked about Chat GPT.
Nice.
So obviously we have our opinions on that. And have you signed up for the new Bing homepage?
I have, and I actually tested it yesterday for the first time. It was pretty interesting. I didn't really do too much with it, but I liked it. I like the idea of this Chat GPT, Bing AI search, generative AI. You can definitely find lots of applications where you could see where it would be helpful or useful. That's for sure.
Absolutely. It's funny. I just was reading this afternoon, though, they're having so many problems with it because I guess there isn't a limit on how many questions you can ask. So you can continue to chat. And apparently it's getting angry. It's getting angry with people and comparing them to Hitler, saying they're evil.
They might need to tweak the algorithm a little bit then.
They are. So breaking news, it says they are going to limit it to five questions or inquiries in a session and 50 per day. So, but you can't just sit there and ask it indefinite because it gets mad.
You can't substitute it for like a real world friend that you would chat with all day long kind of thing.
No, you cannot talk with it all day long. But anyway, so listen to the boys' perspective on that. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. I would like to try it. Actually, it was interesting. I was thinking today in terms of training. If you wanted to, whether it's train yourself or train someone in your organization, wouldn't it be interesting to sort of use Chat GPT to create some training and see if that brings up anything different than a human might bring up from a training perspective?
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting. I've played with it some. I've used it. I actually used it to help me with some ideas for a piece of work I was doing. Not copying and pasting kind of thing. I was obviously, but just to get a couple of thoughts going. And I think it's super useful for that if you're writing something or doing some research and you need a little prompt, you need a little start. Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I've enjoyed using it.
It's like all of technology. Things can be used for the negative and for harm, or they can be used for good, right? So I'm sure that as this comes into being a lot more for us, we'll figure out what those obstacles are and put up some protections. But in the meantime, I think it's a great idea. I really do.
So
Or what
Trish,
do you
going slightly askance from ChatGPT and podcasting, Trish, today is Mardi Gras as we record this, as we speak.
is?
What are you doing? Are you recognizing? What's your plan for Mardi Gras?
No, it's funny. I was on St. Louis is the third largest Mardi Gras in the country. You should go. You should go down there. Actually, the big parade was on Saturday, and this was like one of the first years, other than pandemic, that I didn't go. So
Mm.
anyway, it's always fun. We would have a float in the parade, so you can kind of stay away out of the crowds. But anyway, big fun. Yeah. Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
In New
Anywhere?
Orleans? No, I have
Anywhere.
not.
New Orleans, Brazil?
No, no.
No?
I'm going to celebrate with the time-honored Mardi Gras tradition. I think I'm going to get Thai food. That's my plan.
Okay, very good. No, I'm kind of past Mardi Gras. I had a big weekend though. I went to UNL to see my
Really?
kids and my niece and nephew.
If you find out on UNL, like people know what that is. I feel like that's a very specific
Is it?
acronym. Yes. Why
I
don't you
feel like it's
sort of
not.
say
If
the
you're a fan
full?
of the work rate, don't you know who the
I think you should say the
University
full
of
name.
Nebraska at Lincoln?
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
'Cause
No,
the
but I
first
went to
time
a
I heard you
basketball.
talk about UNL, I didn't know what it was. I've heard of
That's on you.
Nebraska, right? So
That's on you. That's on you.
okay.
No, I went to a basketball game. They played Maryland, and it was like nail biter down to went to overtime. They won 70-66. It was crazy loud there. So yeah, really fun. Good weekend.
That's awesome. Yeah, nothing like going to major sporting events. Shout out to my South Carolina women's basketball team, still number 1 ranked in the country, still
Are they
undefeated.
really?
Hasn't lost a game since last season. Some point,
Yeah,
defending
that's
national
good.
champion, going for 2 in a row this year. Likely going to win the national championship. So how about that?
Do you think you'd go in person this year? I know we kind of talked about it last year.
I
If
don't
they
know
go
where
again,
I'd consider it. I have no idea where the women's Final Four is. I could look that up, but I do not know off the top of my head what
okay.
city it's being contested in. But I'll
Who
consider
do
it.
you who do you have as kind of a favorite or someone you're watching for the men's Final Four?
I have no idea. UNL, I guess, because I don't watch. I will admit to you, Trish, I don't watch a lot of men's college basketball, and the only games I think I've seen are ones where people I know are attending or playing in. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Purdue is pretty good, I think. That's all I know.
I think they're the favorite, right, to go
Yeah.
all the way. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Something that will not be going all the way, Trish, at least not until it's repaired, Trish. We haven't done the show in a while, so you might have
Oh, no.
seen this news. It's about a week old now, but I wrote it down. I'm going to share it with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you're familiar with the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? That
Yes.
vehicle? You've seen that here
Yes.
and there. It was in Las Vegas recently, and someone stole the catalytic converter from the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, and it had to be towed to get repaired. And there was some good pictures on social media of a tow truck pulling the Wienermobile up the road somewhere in Las Vegas recently. Isn't that awful? That's like a sacrilege. Look, if you're going to go out there and steal a catalytic converter, that's bad. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't steal anybody's catalytic converter. But the Wienermobile, like America's vehicle, like a vehicle of the people, spreading good cheer and good food.
What kind of catalytic
and
converter
joy.
would it even have?
That's like stealing like a piece off of Santa's sleigh.
It
Come
is.
on.
Steve, I want to give you a homework assignment. I want to know what kind of vehicle is the Wienermobile? Like who made that? What brand is that? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know what
Mercedes or
underpins it.
something,
It's something that had a converter, right? So yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Sad.
when I went to Kansas City last summer around 4th of July, I stayed in a nice hotel downtown in a garage that was, paid for, monitored supposedly. No, someone thought that they stole my catalytic converter, but luckily mine is actually under the hood of my car. But
Yeah.
they cut out that whole pipe under the car because they
Oh,
thought it
keep
was
the
in there,
gears
and they
off.
like
Yeah.
it's amazing. And that car is really low to the ground, but it's within like 2 minutes they can have that off your car and gone, and you'll never catch them. So apparently it's a big thing to steal from trucks and Hyundai as well.
Oh,
So
well,
now
there
you
you
know.
go.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I think that's all I have for today. What about you? Anything else? Are we good?
Just yeah, you mentioned the play-by-play. New Outwork in America dropped today as well. Posted this morning with our friends at Edward Jones and Inclusively about diversity and inclusion in the workplace. It's a
That
topic
was
we've
so
covered
good.
many times, but a different spin on it, and some really great conversation with a really big company. Edward Jones is a much larger company than most people reckon by the terms of size and employees and national presence. So great conversation with them. And we just finished recording about 10 minutes ago a podcast, which we'll post soon, all around procurement and gender fair procurement with Logitech, a company that everybody knows from computer peripherals and keyboards and cameras and everything else.
I'm say
Great
my camera right
conversation
now. I'm pointing at you,
with
Logitech.
their head of global procurement, all about diversity in procurement. So look for that soon.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that one. People mark that one down because I think we've been looking for a long time of how HR leaders and other business leaders can work more closely with procurement leaders. This will give you all the info you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening, joining us, whether you're here live with us right now, tweet at us, let us know how it's going. And if not, catch us on the replay and we'll be back here, I think tomorrow, right? Because it's
I don't
Tuesday.
know.
We'll be
Soon.
back here tomorrow. All right. Have a good day, everyone.